And I'm actually going to get right into it. And you really want to know how. You know, how can I blaze my own path? How can I be successup? How can I follow the path that someone else has laid for me to be successful?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 219 of Campus Cuts. Today I got a special guest hailing all the way from UT.
Yes, sir.
We got the burnt orange up in this building, and then we got, of course, the great Dr. Umar Johnson in the background.
Hey, you see it? That's why I'm on. That's my energy today, man. Straight black liberation, straight niggertry. But what's good?
Bro, but now, man, we got a good brother of the 1906 fellow friend.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But man, to the people, to the audience, if you don't know Kasim, he played a huge role at University of Texas in Austin during this time. He's been a leader, and from what I saw on Twitter, also him coming to Baylor, and just like the great words that Reggie and Sid has also said, man, it's really an honor for you to be on the show, man. Just want to let you know that I do look up to you from afar, and I listened to all your podcast episodes. Great, insightful conversation, and hopefully I'm able to create an experience just like that.
Oh man, don't do that, bro. I really appreciate it. You're gonna have me crying, but your content is top tier, bro. Just do you, bro. We're gonna have a good episode. I can already tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So basically what I wanted the vision of Campus Custom to be was an opportunity for people. I used to serve as the director of diversity, but now I'm actually moving up as the director of communications once school starts.
Kudos.
Yes, thank you, bro. Shout out to the student body president, Sutton Hauser up there. But what I was supposed to do was supposed to go on listening tours. But I thought, how am I able to create an experience where everybody will have the opportunity to listen, and not me just giving feedback to a certain number of group of people, Baylor student government, who happen to be majority white, and just saying, hey, this group of people just said this, and they actually hear the experience from that. Kind of similar to The Shot by LeBron James and him bringing so many different people into one room. That was exactly the vision. So a multi-generational and multicultural show that brings people to the barbershop, but in my closet. Honestly, it's just really just a place to have open dialogue, free form, free thought, and just honest conversation of whatever topics that we got. So that's really it, man. So basically how I started the show is ask the guests with their name, what their year and their major, and their hometown. And after that, we ask why they went to the certain institution, and after that, the conversation will expand.
All right, for sure. Yeah, let me go ahead and pop it off. So you gave me a good introduction earlier, but my name is Kasim Kabbara. I'm graduating next week, actually, from the University of Texas, Austin. I'm major in African American diaspora studies and radio, television, and film. What else? I'm from the great city of Dallas, Texas.
Yes, sir.
You see it, more specifically, Pleasant Grove. What else? What else I got going? Oh, yes, why I chose UT. So, to be honest, I'm a first-gen student.
Wow.
So, even more deeper, my mom, she at least graduated high school. But my dad, he didn't even graduate. He didn't go past 9th grade. He dropped out of 9th grade. My grandma had my aunt in 10th grade, so she dropped out then. And my grandpa didn't finish school. So pretty much all the people around me graduating high school was a big deal, bro. Like, whoa. Big deal. It's crazy, actually, thinking about it now. As I'm graduating college, I thought about it. I was like, damn, was such a huge thing, bro. I was like, college, I'm like, what, bro? If I'm being honest, one of the last days of my junior year of high school, I was going to try to pursue like a scholarship that route or whatever. But I didn't think academically I can.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if it faded out or not. My bad. So I went to high school in South Dallas, like really very impoverished area, and I went to the worst academically high school in Dallas, just because the resources and whatnot. But yeah, that day, one of the last days of junior year of high school, I found out that I was ranked number 3 in my class of like 200 some people. I literally didn't know my grades was that good, bro. Like, I
Wow.
literally was just getting good grades because my mom was strict and she said if I don't get good grades, I can't hoop. So literally that day, I saw I was ranked number 3. I said, "Whoa, like this is a big deal. Like I should start looking into academics, like taking it serious." And so my senior year, shout out to Trent Patterson. He's one of my big bros. End up being a frat brother in the same chapter.
Wow.
But so he went to UT. He was working as a school counselor, and he put UT in my head, and a couple other people did too. And I was like, okay, I'll apply just because the mess of it. And literally the day I got in, only 4 people from my school got into UT.
Wow. And
So
yeah, because top 7%, they
it
take
was
that.
it was top 7, but some people just didn't apply, bro. Like some people top of my class with me just didn't apply to college, or they just went to community college or something just because resources and not knowing their potential. But the 4 of us that got in, and I remember one of the professors from 2 of the professors from UT came down. They were both Black professors. They talked to us, gave us scholarships to go to UT, and I was just like, okay. I wasn't sold. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't sold because to that point in my life, just living in the hood from the hood, I never met a white person before or been actually cool with a white person before.
Yeah.
So I remember telling my mom, I'm like, if I go do this college thing, like I want to go to a Black school, like a HBCU. Like I've been around Black people. I don't know what to do, whatnot, until I finally just took a visit to UT, and I literally was I remember at a young age praying about it. I'm like, okay, I'm about to graduate high school. If I'm gonna be the first college graduate in my family, I gotta go to a big university to
Yeah.
set it up. So that's how I decided UT. And yeah, that decision changed my life. And it kind of made me who I am today. Like, transition as first, just being from the hood and like not having nobody I feel like related to me, but that also made me unique and stand out too. And I was able to make a huge impact and legacy at UT and in my life. So yeah, that's how I got to UT.
Yeah, dude, I did not even know that you were first gen. Like you're first gen. That is
Man,
crazy. And you're graduating this week, man. Bro, big ups.
bro, appreciate it, bro. Like I don't know, maybe we could talk about it later, but me personally, I'm not a guy that like to tell a lot about my background and like my story and stuff. But I don't know why. I need to do it more. I need to tell more of my testimony and story. But yeah, that's why. I don't know. You could probably help me with that later in the podcast. But yeah.
For sure, man, dude. That is very inspiring, and see like the level of what you've done. So I mean, of course, you know, you're African, you're Nigerian, correct?
Oh, I'm not African, actually.
You're not.
I'm not. A lot of people think I am, but I'm not because of my name.
Really?
Yeah, bro. So many people call me African. I just be going along with it. I be like, ooh, I just be going along, bro. It cracks me up.
Bro, what the heck?
Yeah, bro. You was about to boost me up real nice with the African Nigerian. I was about to say I was Igbo, but
Hey.
I was like, let me stop my man's, man.
Oh, wow. But no, but that's just awesome. That's incredible, man. And the fact that you were able to do that, you've been you do a lot, bro. You do a lot. You have,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean, of course, it's just you know, people like us, that people look at us crazy, especially like the stuff that we're doing. But I wanted to ask you, bro. So of course, you went to a big institution, a big school, and now you're diving deeper into your you know, you said you studied African and African American studies and diaspora with a combination of radio, television, and film. Why did you decide to go that route and be able to pick up on those things to study?
Yeah, bro. Let me tell you, freshman year of college is a funny experience, bro. Like I came in, no cap. I remember I came in as a business major because when you're young and people ask you what you want to do and you really don't know what you do, you always say, "Oh, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur,"
Yeah.
right? Bro, I remember saying that everywhere I went, and people were like, "Oh, good, good," but nigga, I remember freshman orientation, bro. I had to I don't know, I had to take like a math test or some math class or whatever, and bro, that was not the move. So literally, I dropped out of my major right then and there. I was like, I'll just rather go in undeclared, whatnot. Boom. So okay, so in high school, the one thing I did do, like our school offered like a magnet program, and
Mhm.
there I was a part of the radio, television, film, or what was it? Radio, television program. So I kind of had that background of knowing, like in high school, how to write scripts and how to just make content, even though I never really did it for like myself.
Mm.
So yeah, that first year of college, I was undecided. In that second year, like a lot of racial incidents happened on campus and whatnot. And I also knew I wanted to give back to my community back in home in Dallas, who don't understand the racial incidents that was happening at the university I was at. So I was like, okay, how can I combine what skills I do have and also teach people about our history? So I was like, you know what? How about I major in African and African American diaspora studies, and also kind of teach and kind of keep remembering how just about the film industry. So I picked up the radio, television, film on the side as well. And yeah, so pretty much why I picked up both as well is because I'm like, okay, once I graduate or once I'm still a student, I want to be able to just, I don't know. I feel like with African Americans or young people from the hood, I guess the way that people see, I guess, us as role models or whatnot is through art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also an easy way to teach because a lot of people are not, what do we say, hands-on learners. They more visual learners. So I'm like, okay, bet if I can become a good visual learner and also teach myself how to teach others about visuals and also just create good content, I'll be able to go to the hood or even go in white spaces and teach about our culture and our history. So that's the reason why I kind of did both.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's so important because most of the time, the majority, like 90% of what we believe and see in the world does come from television programming. And it's like, we're most likely to see this. And the fact that you now that have been equipped with the knowledge of Black liberation, Black excellence, but no, but
Yeah, facts.
but like honestly, you've been equipped with that knowledge, and now you're able to give an accurate depiction of what it means to like live a Black lifestyle. Because I really feel like the things that really is missing is whenever we are into dominant white spaces. I actually predominantly I lived in the suburbs. I went to a very diverse school with everybody. I lived in a white neighborhood. I remember being called like my friends, "Oh, Tanaka, you're not Black because you don't go to the hood, or you don't play basketball well, or all this, and you talk funny, you talk white." And
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? I was having cognitive dissonance and understanding that
Hmm.
my friends call me white because I'm not Black, and they call me white because I don't act Black, and also because of what they see on the TV. And I just want to understand, like, what was your like things of, being like a writer and also a producer of content yourself, and why do you think if you feel like it's important for people of color to be in that industry to hopefully change the narrative?
Bro, because the industry, I know we talked about it off before we started, but bro, the media can portray you to look any way they want to, and the media don't have a lot of people that got our skin color or have our stories. Like for example, they just see me and you, and they just say, "Oh, Black men," but they don't know that. For example, you a Black man from the suburbs who had a way different experience from me from being a Black man in the hood who actually probably not as intelligent or as you are, whatever they may say. So with us, I guess getting in them spaces, pushing them conversations, that can lead to a change. And at the end of the day, we do want some type of liberation just for our people and just freedom and just in general, because as we see, like, bro, black people, black men, black women are just dying, just continue to die for no reason. Even the pandemic, a man can't even go on a jog.
Yeah.
And it's like a jog, regular jog. Even when we're supposed to be social distancing, one us to social distance, so you go on a jog and he getting followed. Like what?
Yeah.
Like if we in there, and that happened in February, and it
And
just got pushed. But if we are in them conversations or in them rooms to get that push out to media, where media just can't just keep throwing it to the side, then we're making change. We're being impactful, and we being the activists that like, you know, it's different from being an activist like MLK, but we're being activists in our own right for our generation.
yeah, yeah, that's very true. And then, like, you know, I wanted to talk about that summer internship that you, or that the internship you had over spring break. I remember on your Instagram, you also had a chance to go, like, you know, you said, like, I'm not sure if you talked to her, but I mean, like, you know, you had an opportunity to shoot her, and like, what is it
Yeah.
like being out in LA, and what is it like getting that little taste, and, you know, interning for Nick Cannon, somebody that I look up to, not only as a role model in terms of just the industry, but who he is as a human being, and understanding that, yo, he's different. Like, he's always been a good human, and like,
Yeah, sure.
what type of stuff that was able to stir up in you.
No, for sure, bro. So I guess to give more background, last year, the beginning of 2019, from January to May, I decided to do a program where basically I wasn't focused on school. I took 2 classes, but I just decided to go out to Los Angeles to just intern. So I interned at 2 places. One, Matador Content, which is a production company, all white people. I don't know if you heard of shows like Bridezilla,
Yep.
Bridezilla. What else? Oh my gosh, I'm mad it's going away from me. Lip Sync Battle with
Yes.
LL Cool J, stuff like that. Basically, that's the company that produced all them shows and pitched it to ABC and whatever, Spike, all of them. So from Tuesday to Thursdays, I was there all day interning and or just being an assistant. And from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I was at Power 106, which used to have Big Boy. I know a lot of people know them for Big Boy or LA Leakers.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I feel like Megan Thee Stallion had a big freestyle with them last year that blew up. But anyway, Nick Cannon worked there now. He got the morning show. So being there, just being in LA general, I got the best of both worlds. I got the black radio experience and also the white film, television, producing experience as well. And it's LA is a trip in general. It's way different from Texas, bro. Like
Because I've only been there like once, and I haven't even gotten the chance to be able to be behind the scenes. And what was some of the stuff that you learned and that you liked, and some of the stuff that you want to change in that space?
yeah. So before I answer that, let me just say, first of all, Texas, our Southern hospitality is a real thing. So in California, bro, I used to be like, hey, you should try to be friendly. They was not hearing that. The tempo is just picked up. So literally, I used to always come in, used to be friendly, and they'll just look and just be like, okay, just go ahead, get to work, or go ahead, do whatever. I'm just like, wow, okay, it's
Wow.
different. It was actually, I feel like it was hard to make genuine friendships because, for example, at the internships, or even the radio one, right? Once, funny, my first day at the radio show, they didn't even speak to me. They was trying to teach me, but they was just like, whatever. Then I don't know why I happened to bring it up, but I told them, you know, on the side I do photography. I'm a real good photographer. And they was like, oh, pull up your Instagram. I said, okay. Pulled it up, showed some shots. They was like, this is actually good. Well, you go in that room over there, Blueface is over there, and go take some shots of him. I said, what? And so I'm like, okay, bet. Took some shots of him, talked to Blueface. I think I think Wack was there. Wack 100 was there. But I talked to Blueface. I showed him. He liked it. I sent it to him. And I guess since then, at the beginning of my internship, they didn't even use me for my internship. They just used me for my photography. But
Wow.
I felt like that was a good thing and a bad thing because, I mean, at least I was doing stuff. I was able to meet her, got a photo shoot with her. I able to meet John Legend. I never posted them photos because of like stuff, but I met John Legend and got to be in the room with him and whatnot, and other different singers and celebrities. But I feel like they was only using me for the skill that I had. And I feel like Los Angeles and that industry is like that a lot, where it's not genuine. They just want to use you for what they can get out of you. So one of the things I want to change once I get into those spaces is treating like lower people on the totem pole with respect, and just actually knowing them for them and getting to know them and actually teaching them. Because at first, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed in the internship because I felt like they were just using me for my talent for 5 months, 6 months. I'm not graduating, so they can't hire me on the spot. So I'm just out here just to get good pictures for the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, later down the line, I actually was just kept being me, kept being genuine, and that led to a lot of great connections, like that I still have to this day. But just with that industry in general, bro, it's very fake. It's very just faking it till you making it, selling yourself, doing stuff you don't want to do just to get a better paying job or whatnot. And it's I don't like that a lot. I really want to switch that once I get into those spaces. On top of already not telling our stories correctly.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Like,
like, I mean, of course, everybody says like, it's cutthroat. So you said you were taking classes. Were you taking them online? And like, did UT were just like, okay, yeah, you can go? Or
no. I was actually taking them at night, and UT offered the classes. So a casual day for me would be like, okay, I go to work from 8 to 5 or 9 to 6, spend another hour in traffic because LA traffic is horrible.
yeah.
And hopefully the traffic not too bad where I can make it to class at 7 and stay to class from 7 to 9:30 at night, and then come home, go to sleep or study, and wake up and do the next thing next day. It was very busy, bro. I was active.
No, it sounds like the grind for real.
Nah, it's the grind, but I loved it because it gives you a taste of what to look for when you actually get out there. But yeah, bro, it's tough. It's tough, man.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I mean, it's just kind of discouraging because, like, I know I was actually watching a Instagram live of YK Osiris, and
Yeah,
bro, like, have you watched that?
bro. Yes, I felt that. I feel where that fear was coming from. And the crazy thing is, have you heard of YK Osiris song since then?
No. I mean, I know the last thing he dropped on a song with, I mean, Lecrae, Set Me Free, but other than that,
Nah, bro. He that's probably got blackmail, bro. Honestly, because I remember seeing that video, like, oh no, that's not going to end good. And I remember, I kid you not, I remember 2 days after seeing that, I think he got a case on him about something with his girlfriend.
yes, I did see the case.
I literally saw that. It happened 2 days after the video. I remember seeing that, like, oh, that's not going to end good. Just from me knowing both sides of the industry. The 2 days when that happened, I said, yeah, that's about right. Like, it's very bad, bro. The power dynamics there, bro, is very, very horrible. Very.
Man, and like, and how did you know like it was bad? Like, were you able to see it firsthand? I mean, besides the internship, because it's just like, I mean, he called it out, and I mean, I think it's true. I mean, that industry is very shady. It is very,
Yeah.
very like, sheesh.
No, for sure. It is. Like, I remember being at the radio station internship, and I'm glad I was able to work at a big radio station, a popular one where a lot of celebrities, a lot of artist managers come in or whatnot. But I was literally, and it's not that big, and I was very good at what I was doing, so I got to see a lot more than most people. But it's literally, I can see when certain people walk in the room, all these people not looking like us. The whole dynamic of the room just changed. Like, it's okay pleasing those people. Like, you got me, who was like an assistant intern, whatever. Then you got your producers. And the producers is actually the on-air content people. Then the people who make the content gotta go up to the managers or their producers of the whole radio station. Them people gotta go up to the people who actually have the money. And it's like a big totem pole system. You can literally see it when certain people walk in the room. And the bad part about it is the people who make the content, unless you somebody like, you know, of course, a Jay-Z who we applaud because he created his own thing, or Oprah or somebody like that. But if you just a regular on-air content or somebody just make content, you're not even in the top end of the totem pole. I remember seeing that just in shock for somebody who want to be just that. Or it makes you want to think broader about actually focus on being independent and owning your own, just for black empowerment and black economic power, like owning your own, whatever it is, producing content, store, whatever. That's something we need to work on in our community. Because I was just seeing that, like, wow. And it's every industry is something. Like, literally what we saw Meg Thee Stallion a couple months ago on Fits, because literally she was at the bottom of the totem pole. She didn't even know it. She thought because she was the star that she was gonna have this money, and because certain things happened to her family. But nah, she was at the bottom, and she was the money maker.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is, and it sucks. And the only way for us to also make that change is we got our own stuff. Like, that's why I applied Tyler Perry for owning his own studio.
Yeah.
Because he's at the top of the totem pole where he at, and he's hiring black people and teaching them the ropes. And we just gotta do that for our own people.
Yeah, man. So would you want to move out to LA, or like now that you're able to get a taste of that and seeing the I don't want to say call it dark twisted, but I guess seeing the reality of the situation, where does that feel like make you feel like in a position to be in terms of like ownership? And especially now with, like, you know, Africa, like, you know, your studies and understanding that, yeah, ownership is very important. And I guess the follow-up question is, when throughout your academic career, do you think that do you think that integration was a good idea?
Bro, I didn't hear the follow-up question. Can you repeat
I
it?
said the last follow-up question, like, do you think integration was a good idea?
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, I want to start with that one real quick. I mean, throw your opinion in there too, man. But I mean, you kind of gotta integrate, because we just can't have people that's not our color just stay ignorant forever. Definitely when they're the ones that you know, sad to say, but they're the ones that got the power right now. So we gotta shake the room. Worse than pop smoke. Like, we just have to do it. Like, it's hard. It's a road that's, you know, not the easiest, but we gotta do it. And eventually when we get in there, that's when we can create whatever and get to the top, or get and create our own thing where we can see, like, okay, if we shake the room, we can see how everybody in the room operates. If we just immediately create our own thing, that's not, we don't know how everybody operates in the business, which that'll just keep us more one-dimensional. But if we can go shake the room, see how the manager, like, let's say it's a McDonald's. If I can go to McDonald's, work at McDonald's, I can see how the guy make the chicken nuggets. I see how he made the Big Mac. I see how he making the fries. Okay, bet. Then I can see how the manager manages everybody, and then how the person over the region manages everybody. Then we just gonna be more capable of running our own thing, unless if we just come out and do our own thing. I mean, not saying that won't work, but that'll be harder to do when we don't see how everybody operate, and we're gonna have to end up hiring more people than we want to do those things where we can do it ourselves. So yeah, that's that on that. I don't know, you got an opinion on it.
Yeah,
but
I do. You know, I'm just understanding that, of course, I mean, like, looking at the statistics, after after the Civil War, and then I mean, I guess you're more well versed, but I mean, just from my research and understanding the economic influence, the power of the black dollar definitely decreased after segregation ended because, of course, shout out to integration. So I mean, I'm not the most. I don't want to consider myself extreme. Was it bad?
Hmm.
Was it like, yeah, I mean, great. I think the idea is great, but I think it did cripple the African American community because our money is going outwards instead of inward. While each and every other community, their money is going inward. And then now,
Yeah.
and whenever we look at somebody, and whenever we try to do that, people look at us, oh, crazy, like, oh my gosh. Or also, we even turn it against ourselves with the crabs in the bucket mentality, where it's like, oh man, I can't trust niggas because niggas, like, why they always got to mess something up. I was watching Insecure yesterday, and then it was like the episode where Issa, like, she had the whole block party, and then there was a
Yeah.
shooting, and then there's this guy that was saying, oh man, why do niggas always gotta mess something up? But it's just that mentality. It's like, oh, you're not gonna give us the same grace because we've been literally systematically pitted against each other to not really even trust one another. And
Hmm.
like the thing, it was like, but I mean, but for sure, like, I think it has given us an opportunity to be able to be in the spaces and be able to learn and take that rather than I guess that's like also the entrepreneurial mindset that was always been ingrained, like, from my dad. He's like, of course, remember, you're a Baylor. That's not your room. That is not your room. That's your dorm. That's not your dorm. That is their dorm. What you need to do is start thinking about knowing. But he's been telling me about this stuff since I was like 3, 4, like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And it's in that sense, like, rather than us being stuck to being employees, how can we be able to enter these spaces and be able to take the information that they have mentorship? And see, and that's the thing though, like, that's kind of tricky because you want to actually be able to build genuine relationships, which is going to actually help. And, of course, I mean, we're children of God, right? We see everybody the same. But honestly, the world doesn't do that. And I mean, America was built on entrepreneurship and violence.
Yeah. Yeah. We see that present now.
Still, what?
Yeah, man. It's yeah, I definitely like that. Mentorship is another thing that we got to work on. I remember. I mean, we both was there at the little at Big 12 conference this past year,
Yeah.
and Agent Nicole Lynn, she was talking about mentorship, but she was also talking about sponsorship too. And that's something actually I kept that from that day because I never thought about that too. I'm like, okay, getting a sponsor, because sponsors, it's something we should strive to be in our lives, like being sponsors, like helping people who probably, not saying they don't deserve to be in that room, but wouldn't be in that room without you. We
Absolutely.
gotta get people who got the talent, who got the potential, but just because of background or just because of lack of something can't be in that room. We gotta get the people in that room. And I guess to go up with your first question from earlier, I know I've been kind of like trashing it or whatever, but I mean, I would still move to LA, like, or California, just because honestly, I know the opportunity that's there. And yeah, the economically right now, you're gonna get a smaller house, you're gonna grind or whatnot. But I feel like just for if you don't got it all together and you trying to get in the room and shake the room, as like I don't know, we keep saying, we LA is a good place to go. Like New York is good, Atlanta is becoming a good spot definitely for African Americans. But yeah, I mean, I'll still move to Cali for a little bit if it can get me where I want to be, which is being an owner and entrepreneur, LOL, myself.
I mean, so like, talk about the entrepreneurship journey. How did that start? I mean, besides you saying to everybody, I'm going to study entrepreneurship, and like everybody saying, oh my gosh. But I mean, what was like that moment when you really feel like, you know what, you can actually do that? And I mean, of course, you got to think about, might be referencing to your photography, ice visuals. And like,
Yeah,
how did you even get started with photography? And then after that, building your brand up, where you have become a very talented photographer.
man. I definitely appreciate that. By the way, bro, it started. Honestly, it just started out of being broke. Like I needed some money. Like, like I remember freshman year. Because I was like, okay, that's why I was undecided, and I was like, okay, I kind of was knowing that I wanted to get into just being a producer, film, television, whatever I wanted to do. So I was like, okay. A blessing. It was actually a blessing in disguise. I was supposed to spend that summer, my freshman sophomore year, studying abroad in Africa, Cape Town, Africa.
Oh wow.
And so I thought I was going to do that, and I was just saving up money for it. Got a little scholarship, whatnot, and then that didn't come through. And I was like, okay, I got this money. What should I buy? So I was literally sitting down thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Just buy a camera and teach yourself photography. I don't know why that idea came up, but I was like, yeah, you broke. You got this money. You want to not just ball out on it. I like, might as well put it to good use to something. So I I bought a camera, and I spent like that whole summer of my freshman to sophomore year teaching myself photography. So by the time sophomore year came around, and all the back to school events and stuff like that, and at UT at the time, my freshman year, it was only one photographer. But
Really?
man, yeah, like one black photographer, like in the whole whatever. But mans were getting paid. I was like, bro, like I do video. I was already kind of picking up. I already knew how to do videos from high school, but I was like, if I teach myself photography with the little video skills I got, I'm like, bro, I can't be touched.
Yeah.
So sophomore year, I started picking up photography, and a lot of people was seeing it, was liking it. And crazy thing, I really wasn't that cold at the moment, but I was something different. So people already saying, okay, different eye, and I had a different style of photography. That all of a sudden I actually got good towards the end of that my sophomore year.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the UT magazine's articles wrote that I was one of the top 5 up and coming entrepreneurs on the campus.
Oh.
So when they wrote that, I was like, oh crap, yeah. And I remember I started getting different organizations hitting me up for stuff, and I just start getting into my own personal portrait, grad shoots, did birthday parties, quinceañeras. I did a lot so far now. So that's how I started with that. And eventually I want to make that a bigger thing where it could be an actual production company. And I literally been having that goal and dream. So I'm like, okay, production companies have more than one thing they can bring. So that's why I started the podcast too, that I have under the whole Ice Visuals brand. And yeah, that's how I got that.
Oh, have you trademarked? Have you trademarked? You need to get the trademark, bro.
Man, I really need to, bro. That's literally been on my mind for months now. But because the whole Corona and me being in Dallas, because I was trying to get a trademark in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I stay. But yeah, that's coming soon, man. That's coming soon, bro. Appreciate that look, because trademarking is a big thing for sure.
Big thing, because the next thing you know, you're using the name, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that name is not, I can't use that name anymore.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'll be devastated. Like, that's like a couple years of grind with that name.
Man, but that's so dope how you're able to do that, and how you have been able to expand into podcasting, bro. And then talk about that journey, and being part of a podcast, curating that experience, having some big guests on there. Like, why a podcast? And then also and how were you able to book people university, it's in the government, your friends, and but also people that you wouldn't necessarily have conversation with. Like, what about that was just like, oh man, I gotta start this.
Yeah, man. I want to get my campus cuts back. Man, bro, let me tell you, bro. Honestly, I'm such a scary guy, man. Like, I'm talking all this, but I'm a scary guy. Like, literally, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I started the podcast like end of last year, I've been having a dream of podcast like for at least 2 years now. Like,
Oh wow.
before podcast was the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was like once I picked up photography, I knew then I wanted a podcast, just because people thought I was a funny guy, and I feel like I'm diverse in many different aspects of life. But I never did it because I just didn't believe that I can do it. And so literally last couple months of last year, I was like, hey man, let me stop playing around. Like actually no, I take that back. It was when I was leaving LA, because I was at the radio station and I was getting good at my job or whatnot, or my assistant internship, whatever. The on-air person I was working for, it wasn't this Cannon, but it was the mid-air talent. Her name was Brianna. She saw, because I was basically what I used to do. I used to always come in like 2 hours early to the radio station, literally write up the whole show for her. Like, I basically produced her show
Oh wow.
and would help anybody else. Like, if LA Leakers needed some help, like I would try to get in there. Or the morning show, they was there before me, so I used to come in when the morning show was on, and they used to have big things. So I used to act like a call-in person. I used to do anything. I used to literally call into the radio station where I was right next to them, just so I could get my voice on air. Like, I was doing some crazy stuff, bro. And literally people was watching and like, okay, like this guy work ethic is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl I was working for, because I had a deep voice, she was like, your deep voice sound good on the radio, I bet. I was like, yeah. So she gave me a mic and she was like, you on live, like in LA? I was like, what? And she was like, what's something you want to talk about? I was like, let's talk about sports. So I remember that day, the first time I hopped on, it was All-Star Weekend. I gave like a 1 minute on air breakdown of All-Star Weekend of 2019. I guess, I don't know who heard it, but somebody at that radio station liked it and was like, you need to make that a segment every time you, like every day. So she told me about it. She was like, yeah, so 1 minute a day, 1 minute out the whole, her 5-hour shift, I'm on air. Just come up with something, talk about sports for a minute. You got a minute, I'm gonna always lead you into it. Bet. So about for like 4 months that I was there, I was basically on air every day, just giving a sports segment.
Wow.
So after that, some people at the station was like really liking my voice and liking what I was saying and how I actually knew sports as well with the hip hop knowledge I knew just because I used to produce our show.
Yeah.
So they was like, you should really think about making a career, like being on air or something like that. And that's something I never thought of. But I'm like, that's funny, because I always thought about doing a podcast. And I remember a group of producers there sat me down and was like, yeah, do that podcast. Like, you never know. So I that kind of gave me confidence, but I was still scared. So like a couple months later went by, and a couple months later went by. I was like, okay, I should just go ahead and do it. Like, F it, just throw my nuts, let's do it. And I did it, and it's actually been very successful so far. Like, I got to do a better job of producing more content, like more episodes. But I mean, I feel like the content is pretty good. And with the guests, I'm just using people who I know or I've heard the podcast or gave me feedback. That's why I got a U.S. senator on it, just because this summer, like literally after I came from L.A., I was working in Dallas, and I started working for like people in Dallas. Like, I worked for a doctor, basically helping him produce his podcast. Before I even started mine, I was helping him produce his podcast.
Oh wow.
So the senator found out, and I mean, I've been cool with Royce West. He's still running for U.S. Senator right now. Yeah, he still was a cool guy, and I was able to come to his office. I let him hear the podcast, and he was like, yeah, I want to be on it. I said, oh, say less. Got him on it. And that podcast was in the middle of him, I guess, coming up with content for his campaign run. So he used that as just like the campaign stop for his tour, and I was very blessed to have him on it. And all the other people I've had on it, like everybody I had on it, been a blessing. for sure.
Bro, that is amazing. And just with the fact that I never knew. I mean, of course, social media is just um an impression of what people's lives. But I never knew that. I never expected you to be such a scary guy because you happen to be such a leader on your campus. And that's like, on Twitter, you're very active and everything like that. And even at Big
Yeah.
12, you had a lot of people like, reaching out to you and also like just that attitude. And I'm like, I never knew that you would be somebody that would be scared to share your voice. Because, I mean, you are an advocate and you are like, part of all these organizations and everything that you've done and just had experience. Like, you still have fear of like, I don't know if this is going to work out. But you overcame that.
No, for sure, bro. Like, I don't know about you. You got way more confidence than me, man. But that's one of my biggest things. I was legit scared to have a podcast. Even I was president of like my Black Student Alliance like a year ago. I was just not saying I wasn't scared to leave, but I was just scared that I would say something wrong and steer people away. Like I don't know. I want to be knowing that I know people not perfect, but I don't like messing up. I feel like that's a bad, leave a bad image. But that's why I was scared, man. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm watching you getting your confidence. I see how you just able to reach out and like Reggie, Shay, all of them. They're way more confident. Like I'm not saying I'm not a confident person, but when it comes to stuff, I think about it a lot. Like I have ideas, but I literally just be sitting on stuff all the time. I don't know why. I gotta get better at it. I guess that's my weakness.
Hey, bro, but it's okay because, I think it's just a skill. I mean, the only reason why I'm this confident because I mean, like back in the day, I used to get rejected all the time, rejected from work, all that stuff. And at this point, it's like, you know what? At this point, the worst, like I'm just become so numb to it. It's like if nobody likes it, all right, that's cool. That at this point, I'm just like, I've gotten so comfortable to the point of failing and falling in love with that, man. Because I mean, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. There's still
Man.
there's some days I'm just like, man, I remember like doing this. I'm like, is it even worth it? I'm like, wait, no, it's more than just me. It's actually being able to hopefully give people the perspective and the idea of like sharing that voice. Because I know there's some days I'm just like, man, I'm really crazy. I'm just a kid recording in my closet. Is anybody really listening? Bro, because even at Baylor, like I was like, I was served as the MPHC vice president. And I was on the bottom, like we don't have Greek buildings, but our building, our part of the where we have and we share NGC and MPHC office, where all the white organization, their fraternities and their sororities, they have their own huge building. I was recording in that small little office, and I'm just like, damn, this is basically a closet. Like, this is so unfair, but I'm like, you know what? I mean, hey, it's better to try than not try at all, and we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, shoot, you right now even doing it. I don't know if you thought about it, but you doing the podcast in your closet right now, bro.
Oh,
Over Zoom. That takes a lot, a lot of guts, man. More than you think. Because I know with me, I don't know if you think the same way, but with me, it's like when I do my podcast or any content I have, I always want to post the best content.
yeah.
But I got to realize, like, okay, content will get outdated. Like, yeah, I'm gonna look back if I actually grow in a couple months. That means that my podcast or my whatever content I did before is not gonna be as good because I've grown. And yeah, bro, once you actually get in the actual studio and you look back at these podcasts, you can be like, man, what was I doing? Like, I was just grinding, bro, just for the love of whatever, man. That's live, though. It's live. You're going to be like, damn, I'm a live guy. Shoot.
I mean, I just love listening to people, and I love talking and conversating. And it's just like, man, sometimes I'm just like, I really posted on Instagram. I'm just like, niggas really out here think I'm crazy, man.
Bro, it be like that, though. Bro, man. Bro, like, okay, at least my photography got, like, better now. But I just know, like, back in the day when it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
like, I mean, this is social media world, but the one thing I give myself credit to is I really don't use it for validation like that.
Yes.
Like, it's hard. It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
Mm.
But I feel like I've done a good job of not using it for validation. But man, let me tell you, when I first was trying to post my photography work and barely get a little comment or a like, and like, oh, and I feel like people were just liking it because they just knew me. Like, good job, Kasim. Like, nah, nigga, this shit sucks. Like, don't lie to me.
Right. Yeah. I think, and that's a real big struggle with like being a creative. How do you find the balance of, trying to receive constructive criticism and not make it too personal, but also not trying to get too high off of the good comments and the validation that you do receive, trying to stay in that middle ground of being humble?
Man, bro, that's actually hard. I think that's where, like, for me, that's where my faith has to come into it, bro. Because really, bro, once you get that one good content or post and everybody liking and commenting, bro, you feel like that dude, like, oh, okay. But it's like, okay, you gotta look at it as in you should keep doing that, but don't take it a cocky where like now you can't listen to nobody. You feel like, not saying you shouldn't feel like your podcast is the best in the world, but nigga, nobody can't touch this. Like, it's just way superior than what it is. I guess for me, that's why, like, I like looking at my likes and stuff just so I can know what works and what not. All my engagements, I'm big on engagements. But bro, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. It be tough sometimes, man, because when stuff don't be getting love like I think it should get love or whatnot, and I get constructive criticism, I'm like, bro, like, this is good. Like, I feel like this the one that should have went viral, where goddamn Diddy saw this post where he like want me on Bad Boy like right now, or want me work for Ciroc. But it's tough. I don't know, man. It's a grind. It's so hard for creatives out here, man.
It really
I
is,
feel bad for us.
bro. Like the world has opened up, and I think you see that's why it's such a conundrum. I think the internet is the best invention, but also the worst invention too, because
Yeah,
we have so much access and so many people have room to play. But then say that you need to get to the top, and I really and dude, I it sounds kind of evil, but I just pray for the downfall of all these this privatization of all these huge corporate companies that are within this creative field, and making sure that it makes the level field easier. So rather than us trying to go for this corporate, as you said, as you mentioned, the idea of being independent and actually collaborating with one another, because we're too busy trying to chase a check because we got to feed ourselves, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But then rather than actually letting the art really truly reflect what is actually, what's valuable.
yeah. No, that's facts. Like, bro, you don't know how many times I got mad at a new iPhone because they get these cameras on it. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Come on. They starting to look good as a DSLR. I'm just like, bro. But that's where we just got to stand out and just be like, okay, why would somebody want to use us where they can take graph photos on an iPhone 11 and call it a day and have that blow up? Like, bro, Apple's a big player, but gosh, I understand that so much, man. These big corporations just continue to just buy the other small ones and just gang up. Where I feel like, bro, honestly, in a couple of years, it's gonna probably only be like 6 companies in the world that own everything: Apple, Walmart, ABC, god dang it, Netflix, Amazon,
Disney.
Disney. Yeah, Disney. I said ABC, Disney. Shoot, I named 5. It's probably one more that I didn't name. Hold on, let me do it again. Amazon, Disney, Netflix.
Yeah.
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 But you see what I'm saying. They about to own everything, literally, bro.
Bro, and you see Jeff Bezos, how the stock went up. AFC stock went up because he's about to buy it.
Yeah. Gonna buy everything, bro. Oh, Walmart. That's who I was about to say. Walmart. That's the other one. They about to own every single thing, man. Like literally everything. They buying up the competitors. Like it's crazy out here, dude.
Man, that's my biggest fear. Being a cog. I don't want to be a cog in the machine. Cause like when Desi Banks came for BOCBS,
Yeah.
he told me, man, that, yo, bro, you got it. Well, granted, he was drunk, so I don't know. I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. I was just talking to him in the backstage, but he was saying, don't be scared because too many people die with their dreams inside. Too many dreams are in the graveyard. I mean, of course, I heard that with all the motivational stuff that I listened to with Les Brown, but that's the one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to die with anything still left. And being a cog in the machine, that's my biggest fear.
Nah, I feel that. Yeah. I feel like that's why it's so hard and what you're doing right now is so great because you literally just keep on creating content. Even when it's a pandemic, even when you think nobody watching, even though they are, or whatnot. You just keep creating content, keep getting better at your craft and like just not stopping. Because once your work ethic get horrible, and once you just not doing content or whatever, bro, it's not going to end good. You're going to end up turning into that machine you're talking about. Yeah, you don't want to end there, bro.
I want to end up there.
You don't want to always work for somebody too.
That's
not the move.
Well, like, cause check this out, man. So I'm not sure you know Patrick Area.
Patrick who?
Patrick the Sigma at Baylor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So meet him. We've been grinding, right? And so the thing is, I still work as a Baylor tour guide, or I worked before school stopped before the pandemic, right? Yeah. And I was sitting there making $8 an hour. No shade, no shade. I love the Baylor tour guide. Has offered me great stuff. But just think about the fact that we're over here making $8 an hour. You know, while you can invest in your stocks, come up with your own brand, whatever, or simple door dashing. I made $8 in 3 minutes by picking up some food and dropping off at somebody's house in 3 minutes. That's 1 hour pay. I love to drive, so I don't mind that. But also created by throwing my clothing brand, I made revenue just like that. From January to April, it was $1,900 total. And I'm like, dang. And that was with very little inventory and very little advertising, still trying to figure it out. But then, bro, I just don't get that mindset, like how we're being paid pennies to the dollar what we are valuable for. That's the thing that really blows my mind. And that's why I'm like, bro, college is really a scam. Especially now after this pandemic, you've seen all the infrastructure that's being destroyed.
Yeah.
Well, now college is not a scam. It's very powerful and it needs to be used. But just the way how the system is set up.
No, very, very scamish, man. Like, dude, I've been thinking about it. I thought about it when you asked me earlier about how I got into photography, right? And I literally was thinking, like, bro, like, I taught myself, but how did I teach myself? I didn't go to class for it. I didn't ask for help. Oh, I went to YouTube University. Taught myself for free. End up, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm at a point where I'm so good at it where I'm taking people grad pictures and charging over at least the lowest I'll ever do a grad shoot is $200, but I'm charging that at least or more. And I'm like, bro, I done hella shoots just this semester where I made the money back for the camera within probably like 5, 6 shoots, and then making so much other more where I'm doing good for my business where I could probably pay my tuition just off of camera money. So It's like, bro, like I'm scamming. Like this university is scam. Like some people, I know people at this university that major in photography or major in design. I taught myself on YouTube and probably got a business where they don't even got a business, but I got a business for it as somebody who's African an American diaspora studies major and making money off of it. If that's not scamish, that's actually very scamish, bro.
It's
Like,
very
like these universities want us here for all these years where we just go out there and just, if we really devote and teach ourselves it, we can be more skilled at whatever we want to do, whether it's something creative or something. I don't know. I mean, some stuff is harder, like being a doctor, being a lawyer. Of course, go to school.
yeah.
But if you're not in that field, just go. Just do it, man. It sucks. It's very trash. Well, for creatives, it's very trash because we gotta go to school too, because the networks and the connections can be made.
Yes.
That's the benefit.
It's just a country club, man. Higher education is a country club, but now
Man, that's it. At the university we go to, it's a damn country club. Taylor, man, that's just a Christian country club. Man, that's a Christian one. But goodness.
But guess what, man? It's so crazy because I was at the track, I was working out, I was there with my coach, and we were just chilling. And this lady was like, she saw me jump. She's like, "Hey, what school do you go to?" I was like, "I'm going to Baylor." She's like, "You ready for the track team?" I'm like, "No, I'm just doing it with him." And he's like, "Wait, you go to Baylor?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I go to Baylor." She gave me her business card. "Hey, talk to us. We want to talk to our daughter." And then also, I'm just like, "Oh, okay, bro." I mean, that's the only reason why I'm still here, because just the idea of just that those networking, those connections, and those mentorship, man. And it's just like people have pride in their school. People have pride. So I'm like, okay. I mean, okay.
Man, you want to know something? White people got pride in any institution involved to them, man. Like, gosh, it's very nasty. That's the word I'm gonna use. It's nasty, bro. It's nasty as hell.
Oh, well, I mean, I gotta wrap this up because I have to go to a prayer meeting at 8:00. But my last question for you, man, is what do you want your legacy to be?
Man, that's a tough question. It's not tough at all, but I guess for me, I want my legacy. I guess I want it to be evolving to other people. Like I want when I get older to see not just my kids, but my community back home and whoever lives I touch, I just want them to see them be better than me or have bigger visions than me. When I can go older and I see, for example, like I got a sister and she's a sophomore at UT. She go to UT also. So if her sophomore, junior year is not shitting on my senior year, then I'm doing bad, because she should be able to go through the same mistakes, same paths I went to, and not make the mistakes I did, and do it 2 times, 3 times better, 100 times better than me. So with everybody life I've touched, if they do the same thing as me or do something similar or whatever they do, if they don't do it 100 times better than me, bro, that means I failed them. Like, honestly. So, like you say, you look up to me and Campus Cuts is not killing my podcast, and hey, I must not be going hard enough. So I just want to make sure that everybody that looks up to me from afar, close, or whatever is, I just hope that they're better than me. Or just not even better than me, because I probably, if I'm of somebody's standard, then yeah, better than me. But just think beyond me. Like, I want them to be world changers. I feel like I want to be a world changer, but everybody, if I don't become it, I mean, everybody else that's around me look up to me, whatever, got to be a world changer, man. I guess that's what my legacy is. Not, I'm not thinking about me with my legacy, man. I just want to do what God called me to do on this earth. But everybody else got to be better. Got to be best we can be.
That's awesome, man. That's very humbling. That is incredible. This is my last segment of the show, is where I speak life. I love speaking life to people.
Please do.
James 4, it's like the power. There's power and death there's life and death in the tongue. And what it really does, it comes into fruition. My mom put me on to this book when I was 5 years old. She made me read The Secret. And
hey, that's a cool cover, man. Like on cap.
The Secret, and definitely I recommend everybody watching it. Is about the law of attraction. Whether people think it's pseudoscience or whatever, I have used it in my life, and that's even how Campus Cuts is even here, or how I've been able to go to Baylor and stuff like that. The idea of like, hey, whenever I speak things to existence, I'm a huge believer, and I'm a huge believer of speaking life, because I know I've been in a situation where I speak death, and how that almost altered my life and to alter somebody else's life. And I'm like, I never want to be in a position of doing that ever again, where using my tongue to be able to speak life and being able to change that. It's so crazy. But bro, Kasim, I just want to say, man, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of your accomplishment of being a first generation college graduate, and for you continuing to pursue your passions, and for you being an example and a leader on your campus and just all over the world. You don't understand that amount of impact that you actually do have. I'm glad that you are still gunning and grinding and doing the thing that you are doing. I just want to say thank you so much, man, for just taking the time to be here, for being that comedic relief, but also being engaging and thoughtful, and making sure that you are being humbled enough and understanding that God is going to use you in such a beautiful, wonderful way, man. I'm praying for your success, and I'm praying that, one day, 10, 20 years, we're both going to be, we'll be consistent collaborators within our craft, being able to hopefully create stories and produce stories for people of color, but also people who haven't been able to be in the industry, that is going to change the world indeed, man. And I'm grateful that for all the kind words that you've directed my way. And I'm very proud of you, man. And thank you for never looking down at me, and just letting me just express myself, and just being such an incredible individual. So speak
Yeah,
life.
bro, that means a lot. I thank you for speaking life into me, man. That's big. That's big, bro. You about to make me cry, man. Once I get off the phone, I'm about to go cry and call my mom, man. Goodness.
Nah, but it's true. Now understand that, like, I don't speak life just to say, oh my gosh, like, hey, we just having fun. And I mean, of course, I really feel like accountability and whatever, like, that's true. That's necessary. But I mean, way too often we see a lot of hate, we see a lot of negativity. And if we can be the spark, and we can really truly understand and let people have their flowers while they have them, and let them know that, hey, you know what, I appreciate you, and hey, your work inspires me, what you're doing is, you are valuable. Because we lost too many good people in this world because they felt like they weren't valued. And I know that it's a
That's
responsibility
right.
that,
You tell me. That's facts, bro.
it's just like, when you could have been that person to not just coddle them and just say, oh, good job, but actually give them their flowers while they're here, and understand that one thing, I'm really big on that, man. And so I want to make sure that you have your flowers while you're here. And thank you for
Man, I appreciate that so much.
you changed the culture.
Um, Nah, bro. Thank you for having me on your podcast, man. We definitely got to collab more, man. I loved it. If you ever need a guest, bro, I'm happy to give a few hours of my time, bro. I love this. I love this, man. More life.
Yeah. More life, more life. Everybody, that is episode 219 of Campus Cuts. Much appreciated. We out.